All right, so you ready to dive in today?
Always.
Okay, cool. Because today we're talking about something that I think a lot of runners are curious about. And I know I've been curious about this myself. Uh, it's whether or not a ketogenic diet can actually help boost your performance out there on the trails or the roads or wherever you like to run.
Yeah, I've seen this come up a lot lately, too.
Yeah, and for this deep dive, we're turning to our friends over at rockingultra.com. They're a fantastic resource for runners of all levels. Literally, you could be just starting out or you could be an ultra marathoner and they got something for you.
It really is an amazing blog. They cover everything from training plans to nutrition and even like the mental aspects of running.
Which, yeah, like honestly, sometimes that's the hardest part, right? The mental game.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah, huge shout out to rockingultra.com for all the great content they put out there and full transparency. We're just your AI guides here summarizing a few of their articles.
Yeah, if you really want to get the full picture, definitely head over to their site and read the articles for yourself.
Or even better, grab one of their books on Amazon. They go even deeper into all sorts of running topics.
Yeah, but for now, let's see what they have to say about keto and endurance.
Okay, sounds good. So one of the things that really caught my eye was their case study about this guy named Martino.
Oh, yeah. Martino's story is pretty inspiring.
It is like, seriously, this guy was not exactly living the athlete lifestyle before he found keto. He was struggling with his weight smoking, not exactly the picture of health, you know?
Yeah, but then he totally overhauled his lifestyle, went all in on keto.
And the results are kind of mind-blowing. Like he went from being basically a couch potato to running, what was it, like 20 to 30 kilometers fasted.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's like superhuman or something. I mean, I hit the wall after like 10K sometimes, and this guy's out there running for hours on an empty stomach.
It really highlights how powerful a ketogenic diet can be in shifting the way your body uses energy.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, can we back up a bit and explain what exactly a keto diet is?
Right, of course. So basically, the ketogenic diet is all about cutting down on carbs, like way down.
Okay, so like bread, pasta, rice, all that good stuff.
Exactly. And then you replace those carbs with healthy fats.
Okay, so avocados, nuts, olive oil, things like that.
Yep. The idea is to force your body to switch from burning glucose, which comes from carbs, to burning fat for fuel.
And this is where ketosis comes in, right?
Yeah, when your body is in ketosis, it's producing ketones from fat, and those ketones become your main energy source.
So instead of running on carbs, you're running on fat.
Basically, and that's where the potential benefits for endurance athletes come in.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, our bodies can only store a limited amount of carbs in the form of glycogen.
Yeah, and once those glycogen stores are depleted, that's when we hit the wall.
Exactly. But with keto, your body is tapping into a much larger energy reserve, your fat stores.
So theoretically, you could run much further without bonking.
That's the idea, at least according to rockingultra.com.
Wow, that would be a game changer, especially for ultra marathons.
Definitely. But, there are always two sides to every story, right?
Right, of course. So let's talk about the potential downsides of keto, especially for runners. What are some things we need to be aware of?
Well, one of the first things rockingultra.com mentions is the adaptation period. It can be pretty rough on some people.
Yeah, I've heard about the keto flu.
Exactly. It's like your body is going through this major metabolic shift, and it takes time to adjust.
So headaches, fatigue, brain fog, all that fun stuff.
Yep. But rockingultra.com does offer some tips for mitigating those symptoms.
Like what?
Well, they say staying hydrated is key and making sure you're getting enough electrolytes, especially in those first few minutes.
Makes sense.
They also recommend gradually reducing your carb intake rather than going cold turkey.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense too.
It's all about easing into it rather than shocking your system.
So it's not just a free pass to eat all the bacon and cheese you want.
No, definitely not, actually. rockingultra.com really emphasizes the importance of choosing quality fats.
So like healthy fats, avocados, nuts, olive oil, instead of like processed stuff and trans fat.
Exactly. It's about nourishing your body with good fats, not just indulging in every high-fat food you can find.
Makes sense. So anything else we should know about doing keto, right?
Well, protein is another key component that rockingultra.com highlights.
Okay, how come?
Well, even on a keto diet, you still need protein for muscle recovery and growth.
Okay, of course.
So don't be afraid to get enough protein.
Got it. Protein is a must.
And don't forget about your veggies.
Oh yeah, veggies are important on any diet.
Exactly. But on keto, you want to stick to low-carb options like broccoli, spinach, zucchini, things like that.
Okay, so it's all about balance and making sure you're getting a wide range of nutrients, even while keeping those carbs low.
Absolutely. And, we're really just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, where?
rockingultra.com goes into so much more detail on their blog, and in their books.
Yeah, definitely if you're interested in learning more about keto and running, head over to rockingultra.com or check out their books on Amazon.
They're a wealth of information.
They really are. Okay, so now that we have a better understanding of what a ketogenic diet is all about, let's talk about who might actually benefit from trying it for their running.
Sounds good.
So who are the ideal candidates and who should maybe steer clear?
Well, I think we should start with the ideal candidates first.
Okay, sounds good.
Based on what we've learned from Martino's story and the insights from rockingultra.com, it seems like overweight runners who are looking to improve their performance by shedding some pounds could see significant benefits from exploring the keto diet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Less weight to carry means less strain on your joints and potentially faster times, right?
Precisely.
Okay, so what about those ultra-endurance athletes, the ones tackling marathons or even longer races?
Yeah.
Could keto be a game changer for them?
It very well could be. Remember that whole unlimited fuel tank concept we talked about?
Yeah, the idea of tapping into those fat reserves for sustained energy, that's pretty appealing.
Especially when you consider how quickly glycogen stores can be depleted during those long hauls.
Yeah, that's a good point. So no more hitting the wall in the middle of a 100-miler.
Well, that's the hope, at least.
I like it. So we've got overweight runners and ultra-endurance athletes as potential beneficiaries of keto. Are there any other groups of runners who might find it helpful?
Yeah, rockingultra.com also points out that runners who constantly battle energy crashes or GI distress during their runs might find relief with a ketogenic diet.
Interesting. So if you're the type who gets those sugar highs and lows or ends up with an upset stomach after every run, keto might be worth exploring.
It's definitely something to consider by stabilizing blood sugar levels and reducing reliance on sugary gels and drinks. Keto might just be the key to a more comfortable and enjoyable running experience.
That makes sense. And I know rockingultra.com has some great articles on how to manage electrolytes on a keto diet, which is crucial for avoiding those muscle cramps and fatigue.
Right. Electrolyte balance is something all runners need to be mindful of regardless of their diet.
For sure. But okay, so we've talked about who might benefit from keto. Now let's flip the script. Are there any runners who should absolutely avoid it?
Yeah, there are actually rockingultra.com cautions that if you're a sprinter or an athlete whose training focuses heavily on high-intensity workouts, keto might not be the best fit.
Why is that?
Well, remember, we need that readily available glycogen for those quick bursts of power, and keto intentionally limits that.
So if you're all about speed and explosive power, stick to those carbs.
That seems to be the general consensus, at least for now.
Okay, that makes sense. It's all about matching your fuel to your specific training demands.
Absolutely.
All right, so even if you think you might be a good candidate for keto, I imagine it's not a decision to be made lightly.
You're absolutely right. rockingultra.com strongly emphasizes the importance of consulting with a healthcare professional before making any major dietary changes.
Especially one as significant as adopting a ketogenic diet.
Exactly. They have a whole section on their blog dedicated to finding qualified sports nutritionists who can help you navigate the complexities of keto.
That's awesome because this is about optimizing your health and performance, not just following the latest diet trend.
Right.
So before you jump on the keto bandwagon, chat with your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can help you assess whether keto is a safe and appropriate choice for you, especially if you have any underlying health conditions.
For sure. And if you do decide to give keto a try, remember it's not just about cutting carbs.
Yeah. What else is there?
rockingultra.com provides tons of resources on how to build a balanced keto meal plan that prioritizes nutrient density.
So it's not just about eating bacon and cheese all day.
Nope. They offer delicious recipes, meal prepping tips, and even guidance on how to navigate social situations while sticking to your keto goals.
Wow, it sounds like they've really thought of everything.
They really have, and they also stress the importance of listening to your body and paying attention to how it's responding to the keto diet.
Okay, so what are some signs that keto might be working for you?
Well, if you're feeling great, your energy levels are stable, and your performance is improving, that's a good sign.
Makes sense. And what about signs that it might not be working?
If you're constantly fatigued, struggling with workouts, or experiencing negative side effects, it might be time to reevaluate.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's all about paying attention to how your body feels.
Absolutely. rockingultra.com reminds us that there's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to nutrition.
So true.
What works for one runner might not work for another.
Yeah, it's all about finding what works for you and your individual needs.
Exactly.
And hey, who knows? Maybe keto is the missing piece of your endurance puzzle.
It could be.
But even if it's not, the knowledge and awareness you gain from exploring this way of eating could be incredibly valuable.
Yeah, that's a great point. Even if you decide not to go full keto, Understanding how your body uses different fuel sources can be incredibly empowering.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've explored the ins and outs of the ketogenic diet, its potential benefits and drawbacks for endurance athletes, and the importance of seeking professional guidance before making any major dietary changes.
It's been a good discussion.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listener with something to ponder, something that goes beyond the specifics of keto and taps into a bigger idea.
I like that idea. Let's give them something to chew on as they head out for their next run.
You got something in mind?
I do, actually.
Okay, lay it on me.
We've talked a lot about the potential of keto to boost your endurance, but maybe the real magic isn't about rigidly following the diet. It's more about the awareness it brings to your fueling strategy.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this. Tell me more.
Think about it, even if you don't go full keto, understanding how your body uses different fuel sources can be a game changer. Maybe you realize you're relying too much on sugary gels during your long runs, and that incorporating more healthy fats into your diet helps you maintain steadier energy levels.
So it's not just about keto versus non-keto.
Right, it's about tuning in to your body and finding the fuel mix that works best for you.
I like it. So it's like unlocking a secret code for your body.
Exactly. And hey, if you want to crack that code even further, rockingultra.com is your go-to resource.
They're the experts.
They break down all this stuff in detail and offer tons of practical tips.
And don't forget their books on Amazon dive even deeper into these topics.
Right, if you're serious about leveling up your running, those books are a great investment.
They're like your personal running coaches guiding you every step of the way.
Exactly.
All right, so there you have it, the ketogenic diet, a potential game changer for endurance athletes. But remember, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
It's about understanding the science, listening to your body, and making informed choices that align with your goals and overall well-being.
And even if keto isn't your thing, the awareness it brings to fueling and energy optimization is valuable for any runner, no matter the distance or pace.
Absolutely.
So keep exploring, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep running.
And for all the resources and guidance you need to crush those goals, be sure to check out rockingultra.com or their books on Amazon.
They've got a wealth of information waiting for you.
Happy running, everyone.
Happy running.
Yeah. So let's talk about who those ideal candidates might be.
Okay, so who should be considering keto for their running?
Well, based on what we saw with Martino and all the info from rockingultra.com, it seems like overweight runners could really benefit.
Makes sense if you can lose some weight that's less stress on your joints and probably translates to faster times.
Exactly. It's all about improving your running economy.
Okay, so overweight runners got it. Who else?
Well, ultramarathoners could be another group that sees huge benefits.
Yeah, I can see. Remember we talked about how keto can help you tap into your fat reserves for energy?
Right, and when you're running for hours and hours on end, having that steady source of fuel could be a game changer.
For sure. No more hitting the wall in the middle of a 100-miler. That sounds pretty appealing.
Definitely.
Okay, so overweight runners, ultramarathoners, anyone else?
You know what else rockingultra.com mentions?
What's that?
Runners who struggle with energy crashes or GI issues during their runs.
Interesting, like those sugar highs and lows or the dreaded runner's trots.
Exactly, those kinds of things.
So keto could potentially help with that.
It's worth considering at least. By stabilizing blood sugar and reducing reliance on sugary gels, keto could lead to a more comfortable and enjoyable running experience.
Interesting. And I know rockingultra.com has some great advice on managing electrolytes on a keto diet.
Oh yeah, electrolytes are crucial for everyone, but especially for keto runners.
For sure. Okay, so we've talked about who might benefit from keto. Now let's flip the script. Who should definitely avoid it?
Well, according to rockingultra.com, sprinters and athletes who focus on high-intensity workouts should probably steer clear.
Why is that?
Remember how we talked about needing that readily available glycogen for those quick bursts of power?
Yeah.
Well, keto limits that glycogen, so it wouldn't be ideal for those types of runners.
Okay, so if you're all about speed and power, stick to the carbs.
That seems to be the best advice for now, at least.
All right, makes sense. So even if you think keto might be right for you, it's not something to jump into without doing your research.
You got it. rockingultra.com really stresses the importance of talking to your doctor or a registered dietitian before making any big changes to your diet.
Especially one as drastic as keto.
They have a whole section on their blog dedicated to finding qualified sports nutritionists.
That's great because this isn't about blindly following a trend. It's about your health.
Right.
So talk to the experts, make sure keto is safe for you, and then if you get the green light.
Then you can start exploring all the resources rockingultra.com has to offer.
Yeah, like what kind of resources are we talking about?
Well, they have tons of info on how to build a balanced keto meal plan with lots of nutrient density.
So it's not just about loading up on bacon and cheese.
Aha, no, definitely not. They've got delicious recipes, meal prepping tips, even advice on how to navigate social situations while on keto.
Wow, they've really thought of everything.
They really have. And they also remind us that it's super important to listen to your body.
Yeah, that's key with any diet, but
Okay.
especially with something as unique as keto.
So if you're feeling good, your energy levels are stable, and your performance is improving, those are all good signs.
Makes sense. And what about signs that maybe keto isn't working for you?
Well, if you're constantly tired, struggling with workouts, or experiencing any negative side effects, it might be time to reevaluate.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's all about finding what works for you and your individual needs.
Exactly. And that's something rockingultra.com really emphasizes. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to nutrition.
Right. What works for one runner might not work for another.
So true. So who knows? Maybe keto is your secret weapon for running success.
Maybe.
But even if it's not, the knowledge you gain from exploring it could be valuable.
Definitely understanding how your body uses different fuel sources can be incredibly empowering.
All right, so we talked a lot about the ketogenic diet today. We've explored its potential benefits and drawbacks for runners, and we've stressed the importance of doing your research and talking to your doctor.
It's been a great discussion.
But before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about, something that goes beyond keto and taps into a bigger idea.
I like that idea.
Okay, so here it is. We've talked about how keto could potentially boost your endurance, but maybe the real magic isn't about rigidly following the diet itself, but rather the awareness it brings to your fueling strategy.
You know what? That's a really interesting point.
What do you think?
Well, think about it. Even if you don't go full keto, just understanding how your body uses different fuel sources can be a game changer.
Yeah.
Maybe you realize you're relying too much on sugary gels during your long runs and that incorporating more healthy fats helps you maintain steadier energy levels.
So it's not about keto versus non-keto. It's about tuning into your body and finding what works best for you.
Exactly.
I love it. So it's like unlocking a secret code for your body.
And hey, if you want to crack that code even further, rockingultra.com is a fantastic resource.
They're the expert.
They break down all this stuff in detail and offer tons of practical tips.
And don't forget their books on Amazon.
Right, those books dive even deeper.
Okay, so to wrap things up, the ketogenic diet is a potential game changer for runners. But remember, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
The key is to understand the science, listen to your body, and make informed choices.
And even if keto isn't for you, the awareness it brings to fueling and energy is valuable for every runner.
Absolutely.
So keep exploring, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep running.
And for all the resources you need, check out rockingultra.com or their books on Amazon.
They've got you covered.
Happy running, everyone.
Happy running.
We've talked a lot about how keto could potentially boost your endurance, but maybe the real magic isn't about rigidly following the diet. It's more about the awareness it brings to your fueling strategy.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this. Tell me more.
Think about it. Even if you don't go full keto, understanding how your body uses different fuel sources can be a game changer. Maybe you realize you're relying too much on sugary gels during your long runs and that incorporating more healthy fats into your diet helps you maintain steadier energy levels.
So it's not just about keto versus non-keto. It's about tuning into your body and finding the fuel mix that works best for you.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe playing around with some keto principles, even without going all in, could lead to breakthroughs in your training and performance.
It's like unlocking a secret code for your body. And hey, if you want to crack that code even further, rockingultra.com is your go-to resource.
They really do break down all this stuff in detail and offer tons of practical tips. And don't forget their books on Amazon. They dive even deeper into these topics.
Oh yeah, those books are a great resource. It's like having a personal running coach in your pocket.
Yeah.
So there you have it, the ketogenic diet. A potential game changer for endurance athletes. But remember, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
It's about understanding the science, listening to your body, and making informed choices that align with your goals and overall well-being.
And even if keto isn't your thing, the awareness it brings to fueling and energy optimization is valuable for any runner, no matter the distance or pace.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power. The more you understand about how your body works, the better equipped you'll be to reach your full potential.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So keep exploring, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep running.
And for all the resources and guidance you need to crush those goals, be sure to check out rockingultra.com or their books on Amazon. They've got a wealth of information waiting for you.
Awesome stuff. Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive. But as always, we encourage you to keep learning, keep pushing your limits, and keep having fun out there.
Happy running, everyone.
Happy running.